Okay, so here we have the fifth string root sequence, right? Now what this means is, two things. Basically it's the circle order, right? So we have here, this should look familiar. The 1, the minor 2, the 5, the minor 3, minor 6, minor 2, 5, 1, right? So now what the fifth string root sequence is, it means that the bass note is on the fifth string. So the fifth string, as you should know, is the A string, right? So go ahead and play a C major chord. Your first finger should be on the 3rd fret, right? And play a C major chord, okay? And now what this line here, this column here says is the chord position, right? So obviously it goes in order, right? So this is the first chord, second position is the minor 2, third position is the 5, fourth position, right? So on and so forth. And then here, this is really the most important part, the fret jumps, right? So what this part here tells you is how many frets you actually move from one chord position, right? From one order of the circle to the next. So you start on C, like I said, right? That's the first chord position. So now fret jumps 0, obviously, because it's the first one. You're not moving yet. To play the minor 2, right? So go ahead and play the minor 2, which is the second chord position. You jump ahead 2 frets and you stay on that same string, and it's a minor chord. So obviously we know this by now. C is the easiest one. That's D minor, right? So there you go, D minor. And then you go to the 3rd chord, right? The 5. You move back 2 frets, and the 5 in C is G. So you don't stay on that 5th string. You have to play the 6th string to play the G, right? And don't worry if this doesn't make 100% sense right now. I will make a video where I'm playing the guitar and showing you this at the same time. So then we have here from the 5 to the minor 3, the 3rd position to the 4th position, we have 4 fret jumps, right? So you're going from G, the major G major bar chord, to an E minor bar chord, because that's the minor 3rd, right? E minor, C, D, E, so E minor. And then so on and so forth. This, it's self-explanatory. After the 4th chord position, the minor 3, you go to the minor 6, and it's the 5th chord position, right, in the circle, because the circle has 8 chords. You go back 2 frets, and the minor 6 would be an A minor, right? Same thing here, minor 2, you already played it, which is right there, so that's D minor. You 5, you already played the 5, so it's G, and then boom, 1, back to the beginning. All right, so that is the 5th string root sequence. And then here we have the 6th string root sequence. Okay, now what the 6th string tells you is that the root, the bass note, right, your first finger should be on the 6th string, and the 6th string is the E string, the low E string, the fat one. And now same thing here, right? So the first, so this is the circle order, right? Again, the circle has 8 chords, right? The circle has 8 chords. So go ahead and play on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, G major bar chord. Okay, so now this is, it's the same thing as before, except that it has, the fret jumps are a bit easier because it's only 2. You can see here has a pattern, 0, 2, 0, 2, 0, 2, 0, 2. The only thing is, here obviously you move 2 frets to the right, 2 frets to the left. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that in the 5th string one. But the arrow tells you which way to move. If you're moving up the neck on the guitar, or if you're moving down the neck to the left, right? So higher notes to the right, lower notes to the left. So if you start on the G major bar chord, right, third fret, sorry, the first chord position, order of the circle, right, 1, 0 fret jumps because you're on G and you're just starting, so you're not moving yet. Then the minor 2 comes, the second chord position, and you move 2 frets to the right. So 2 frets up, which would give you A minor, because we're in G, and the second note of the G major scale is A. So A, and it's a minor 2, A minor. Then we go to the third chord position, and we have the 5, and that gives you 0 fret jumps because you just move up to a D major bar chord on the 5th string. And then we go to the 4th chord position, minor 3. You go 2 frets to the right from that D, and it gives you E minor, right? 5th chord position, minor 6, 0 fret jumps. You basically go from the 5th string to the 6th string. You play a B minor, and then you already played that minor 2 here, so you know that that is A minor bar chord. You already played the 5 here, you know that's D, and then 2 frets to the left again to end on G. Okay, and that is the shortcut. I do recommend memorizing this, and you'll memorize it by practicing, but if you have the music theory down, it's much easier and you don't need this at all. But since we're in the beginning stages, you don't really have all the music theory yet in your head memorized, so it's easier to memorize this, and then this will help to memorize the music theory, because you'll know that, say for instance, if you're in A, right, the minor 2 is B minor, the 5 is E, the minor 3 is C sharp minor, the minor 6 is F sharp minor, the minor 2 is B minor again, and then E, A, right? And you can do that for any of them. And I say start on G, so I'll explain this in the next video about where to start the 6th string or the 5th string root sequence. And I hope this makes sense.